We seem to live in this world where you expect the new thing every single year, and if it doesn't happen, well, it starts to feel antiquated. But every once in a while, there's that product that sticks around, gets better over time, and really delivers on its promise. And the Mavic 3 Pro is exactly that device. Now look, the Mavic 3 series, it's been out for quite a while. The original was released back in 2021, and now we have the Mavic 3 Pro, which was released 2 years ago. So it makes sense that a refresh is probably coming. In fact, DJI is working on something, and they're announcing it very soon. And with that in mind, when new things come out, well, sometimes that means the older model is the one to get. And well, when using the Mavic 3 Pro, it makes a great case for itself. I absolutely love this thing, even after all these years. Now, I've been flying these for years and years, and I started back with the Phantom series. And what's great about the Mavic is that it really transformed these from being like fun devices that you can use to get some decent footage, but they're really kind of more just toys. At least that's always how I thought of them. But the Mavic really took it to being more of a tool. And not only that, a tool for people like you and I, so we can actually afford it. We don't have to rent these high-end drones. We don't have to rent a helicopter anymore. We can use something like this that fits in a backpack and get some incredible looking shots out of it. And that, when you think about it, really changes everything. It opens up an entire new avenue of content creation and, just production. And for me, there's really 3 things that make the Mavic 3 Pro worth it even to this day. And it's why I fly it all the time for a bunch of different scenarios. First and foremost, what I've really become like accustomed to is how easy these things are to fly. And I think that's actually a big deal because it can be intimidating to throw up a multi-$1,000 device if you're afraid it's going to crash every single time. But with the 360-degree obstacle avoidance that you get with the Mavic 3 Pro, well, it kind of takes the edge off and makes you feel safer when flying. And it's not so much that I don't know how to fly these things, but what it really comes down to is that when I'm trying to film up in the air and I'm trying to get a specific shot, I no longer really have to worry about 2 different things at once. When I'm filming up in the air, I'm trying to think of getting that shot. I'm focusing on composition, I'm making sure the lighting's all in control. And then if I had to add on top of that a worry that I'm not gonna crash the drone, well, it just becomes annoying. But because of the obstacle avoidance and how good it is, I mean, you can see here in this shot, it is just going around navigating trees and plants. I don't even think about it anymore. I have never crashed any of these. Granted, I have come close, but the obstacle avoidance has worked. And when I'm in a filming mindset, that just takes a load off. And it really, really does come in handy. And it's great that DJI is putting that in all of their devices, but I think it's just important to say, like, it really is a nice base level so that you can focus on what I think is the most important, and that is the camera. I mean, no way around it. The camera is the reason why I even care about this product at all, because these are not just toys anymore. These are cameras that I can fly. But for me, one of the issues that I always had before the Mavic 3 series was that I would put the drone up in the air, I would get the footage I wanted, and then I would try to match it to my much higher end cameras. And I could do it. It was fine, but it just wasn't a seamless process. It took a lot of work to get the footage to look the way I wanted it. And really, that's not the case anymore. The Mavic 3 Pro Cine, which is the one I have here, I think is the perfect balance of options. So you get multiple cameras and you get the ability to edit in post in a way that feels like a normal camera. It doesn't feel like a phone camera or anything like that. No, this feels like robust footage. Now you get 3 cameras here. You get the 24mm main sensor, you get a 70mm, and you get a 166mm. So you get 3 options, and that really does come in handy. I mean, you can just see the difference here in this shot. So this is the main camera, this is the second camera, and then now this is the third camera. This is a ton of option in just one small camera system. Now, to be frank, honestly, I don't use the 166mm option very often at all. What I really use it for is for like scouting. Sometimes I want to just see a little bit further and, maybe think if I need to go get that shot or something, and I'll zoom in, punch in to see further. And it really does come in handy for that. But the quality on that camera is simply not as good as the other 2. And then in second place is the 70mm option. This one I actually use a ton because it gives you enough compression that you can get some parallax effects that look great. And the quality is still good enough that I feel comfortable using it. Although this still feels more like your traditional camera sensor. But where I think the magic comes is with that main Hasselblad 4/3 sensor. This just feels like a regular camera sensor that I now am able to fly, which is what I had been dreaming of forever. And when the Mavic 3 first came out back in the day, I was able to use it on this Rivian shoot. And after getting this footage into the computer and messing with it and editing it, it blew me away. The amount of detail you get, the amount of color grading ability you have. And because it's the Cine model, I now can use ProRes, which gives me much more data, and it actually runs really well on my editing suite because, you know, I'm using a Mac, so ProRes just works really well with it. It was the ultimate dream I had of just having a flying camera that just works and gives me what I want. This does that. And ever since then, I've just been obsessed with this camera. And I started using it for more than just establishing shots, which is what I always used drones in the past for. It's like I want to show the scene, wide angle, so I can throw the drone up in the air and get that overview, which I still do all the time. But now I use this camera just as another camera. So if I need like a dolly shot, for instance, I just throw the drone and, you know, get a low shot of it moving around. Or if I need a tracking shot, I just use the drone. These are the kinds of shots that would be a lot harder to get if I was trying to use like a traditional camera system, but because this one flies, it just makes it that much easier and it actually looks good. And now for me, this is an integral part of my camera setup. So I have my main camera, I've got my B cam, and pretty much every time I go somewhere, I take the Mavic 3 Pro as well. Now, where I think DJI really kind of nailed it and you know, completed this system is with the battery life. Now, they rate it at over 40 minutes and, you know, that really never ends up happening, but I think it's a reliable 30 minutes per battery, which 30 minutes is quite a long time. Now, I bought this case here where everything can live, so it's just easy to take with me and use. And in this kit, I have 5 different batteries I can use. So reliably, you can get 2.5 hours out of this case. Now, the batteries are pretty expensive, and luckily I had them from the Mavic 3 Classic and other drones before it, and they are compatible with this one, so I just, you know, threw them all in this case. But because the battery life is so good, it's honestly something I don't really think about that much anymore because I know that, you know, with this kit, wherever I go, I'm going to be able to get the shot. The battery life is no longer an issue, which was not really the case not that long ago. And so as DJI starts to release other products, well, that doesn't mean that this is obsolete. This is still going to be in my kit. I'm going to be using it all the time because I absolutely love it. The flexibility it gives me, the different camera angles, the ease of use really is exactly what I would hope for from a Mavic series drone like this. The Mavic 3 Pro, well, it really lives up to that Pro name. And I'm excited to see what else DJI does. But if you're in the market for one of these and you were thinking about picking up a 3 Pro, I still think it's worth it. I'm going to be using mine, and I'm happy I have it.